Hello, this is Life Law Podcast. I am your host, Debbie Dowesi Ajum. Welcome to the show. February has been a month full of surprises. I celebrated my birthday, Valentine's Day came, I had so much to do at work, and then I lost my maternal uncle. So it's been full of happy and sad moments. At this point, I'm hoping that the rest of the month has good stuff for me, because so far it's blessed me with the good and the bad and the ugly too. And I'm hoping that I only have good stuff left to experience before the month ends. You can tell I'm a bit somber from my voice, but I have to record this because I can't keep starving my listeners. It doesn't matter if my life is going downhill. This is what I've put upon myself, and I have to stick to it. I have to deliver, as always. So I've got another story from KHAKI. This one's very short because I've not been in the right mental space to get creative, to pour my creative juices out. So this is something very short, and if it's too controversial, you're going to love it as usual. So do not forget that this is a work of creative non-fiction. While all the stories in this collection are true, many parts have been fictionalized in varying degrees for various reasons, and some names and identifying details have been changed to protect the privacy of the people involved. So the title of today's story is Mami Ménage. The bugle had not yet pierced the grey dawn when whispers began to move like wildfire through the NYSC camp. Mami Market, usually empty of coppers at that hour, had already gathered a small, scandalized audience. 2 female coppers and a male copper had been discovered inside one of the narrow toilets behind the Mama Put shacks after midnight. It wasn't the act itself most people talked about, but the shock of being caught. What were they thinking? Some people don't have self-control.
Conjina bastard, sha.
God forbid, oh. By 4:45 a.m., the entire camp seemed to know. Rumors were that one of the female coppers was even married. Some said the abomination had occurred in another camp, not this one. When the bugle finally sounded, the Christian coppers assembled on the parade ground in uneven rows, according to platoons, white rubber shoes damp with dew, white shorts glowing faintly under the reluctant sunrise, while the muezzin's call to prayer rang out in the distance. The morning devotion was kept brief and immediately followed the buzzing of conversations. Soon after, the Muslim coppers made their way to the parade ground from the camp mosque. With the addition of more voices, the crowd turned into a beehive. When the camp director mounted the small wooden platform, silence fell. He caressed his pot belly slowly, surveying the sea of faces, some nervous, fidgety, some amused, some studiously blank.
This camp,
he began, voice amplified by the crackling speaker,
is a place of discipline, of service, of dignity.
A murmur tore through the ranks.
After lights out yesterday,
he continued,
3 core members were found engaging in conduct grossly inappropriate for this orientation camp, inside the Mami toilet.
His face contorted with disgust at the last sentence. Heads turned, whispers floated around. Some stifled their gasps. Others stared straight ahead, praying invisibility over themselves.
This is not a hotel,
the director said sharply.
It is not a nightclub, and it is certainly not a hiding place for reckless behavior.
The words dropped like rocks from the sky. Even the innocent ones received the brute force of the director's rage.
You are adults,
He went on.
but you are also representatives of this nation. Let this serve as a warning to each and every one of you.
The early sun finally broke over the rusted steel rooftops of the buildings in the camp, casting long shadows across the parade ground.
Any further misconduct,
He concluded, voice hard as parade boots on concrete,
will attract immediate disciplinary action, including expulsion. That will be the end of your service, and your reputation will be ruined for life.
The whistle blew for drills. As the corpers began jogging in formation, whispers resumed, weaving through the ranks. Suspicious and accusing eyes were casted in all directions. Everyone became a suspect. We are the culprits now.
They must have sent them back home before we woke up.
Kai! I for like see them oh. They took get liver. There's this girl in my room who was packing her bags before we woke up. What if, by breakfast, the story would have cemented itself in the minds of the camp inhabitants? By afternoon, it would be legend. But for now, beneath the rising heat and the rhythm of synchronized steps, camp discipline had been restored, at least on the surface. Thank you for making it this far. You have come to the end of Mami Ménage. I'm in love with this title. But most of the events in this story did not happen in my camp. It happened in another orientation camp. And so I just had to write about it because what? 3 weeks? And you couldn't control yourself? Use the mommy toilet? Oh my god. Oh, like that character said, conjugal bastard. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. Please share the episode to friends, family, foes, every single person in your life. Spread the word about life law so we can become global. Don't forget to rate us. Give us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcasts from. Thank you so much for listening. This is a bi-weekly podcast, so we'll be back in 2 weeks with another story from Dreams in KHAKI. I've been ruminating on the stark finality of death, how you become a body, a corpse, soon as you're dead, and no longer your name or what people knew you by when you had life in you, when you had breath, when you had your soul living in your body. And it's just crazy how life goes on even after you're gone. And I hope we leave a memorable one so that when we leave this earth, the people we leave behind will always remember us for who we were, what we did, and just how we lived our life generally. Hopefully in a positive light, yes. So my words to you all is that you taking cognizance the fact that life isn't permanent. Nothing promises you forever. There is no forever, and so you have to live your life knowing that one day you're going to leave this earth, and so just live it to the fullest. So you have no regrets. I mean, you can't regret anything when you're dead, but you live so you know when you die, you lived. You lived the life you wanted. You had the experiences you looked forward to. Your dreams came to life. And so you know you die a fulfilled human being. So yeah, let's live well, let's love well, let's just be true to ourselves. I am Debbie Doesi Ajom. Bye for now.